Padres trade talks are intensifying. Let's talk about the latest rumors, reports, ideas, and everything coming out of the winter meetings. What's going on, everybody? Christian Pedersen back with another episode of Padres Digest, the show that is hanging in there. Like, we're seeing Nando getting traded. We're seeing nothing's happening. We're seeing rebuild. We're powering through. We're putting on the blinders, and we're just saying, dear Craig Stammen, deliver us from this situation. If you want to join in on the conversation, we'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment. And also, as always, if you want to hit the subscribe button, not going to hate you for it. We're closing in on 3,000. That's great to hear. You know what else is great to hear? That the Padres have a perfect rotation fix hiding in plain sight. This is the headline that I saw. And like I said, there's been a lot coming out. And it does seem like the underlying thing is this sort of AJ Preller's out there, real G's move in silence. He's being coy about something bigger than the Soto trade coming down. Okay. You, as AJ Preller, obviously to me want to be negotiating from a point of strength. And so I would be fine with the reports being out there about that. But I'll believe that when I see it. Until then, I would assume that the Padres are going to be working in the margins. And we've talked a lot about both the ownership issues, whether that be just the immediate ownership cash fall or just the uncertainty of potentially new ownership coming in soon. I don't know where to fully label the direct, like the actual issue, but it's just one of the issues. And then that ownership issue trickles into contracts are exploding. So while there is some money available now, there's not the same amount of money as we might perceive having been available in the last couple of years. So, like I say, in the margins. Hence, we get headlines like this one where it's Pablo Lopez from the Twins might just be an ideal person to talk about. This article that I saw that kind of got me going. Little bit of a non sequitur in the text here, talking about Bob Nightingale jumping the gun on Zach Gallen, and to me that kind of like there's Tarek Skubal, there's everybody else, but within the everybody else, there's also like I'm doing the Billy Bean. There's the good pitchers, there's the great pitchers, there's the good pitchers, there's 50 feet of dirt, and then there's where the Padres are going to wind up getting guys. And to me, a Pablo Lopez, the summary here is that, according to what this article says and sees, is that he is likely to be a part of the continued fire sale that began last year for the Twins as they exited everybody basically other than Byron Buxton. And $21.5 million, though, in terms of what Lopez is owed, it brings me back to this point where I keep saying, this is where I want to hear from you guys. Does one pitcher fix the Padres? And if one pitcher does fix the Padres, great. Let's try and find either that guy or something akin to that guy. But unless one pitcher fixes the Padres, or you can make an or maybe it's two, but I really don't think the money or the people exist in this equation. So I want to say even one. Does one person being added to call up the depth chart here? Yu Darvish at the bottom here should be on the IL. I don't know why he's not listed on the IL currently, but does adding one good free agent or trade or additional KBO arm or something like that tip this from being an average run-of-the-mill sort of whatever lineup in or rotation into being an elite, oh my gosh, we ride or die? I don't think that the difference between having Randy Vasquez at your 3 and Randy Vasquez at your 4 because of adding a Pablo Lopez means all that much. I don't think it gets it done. I don't think for eating up that $20 million this year, unless the Twins are going to, unless we've got a couple of pieces to dish, like if we're sending a Cash Mayfield or something like that, one of our bigger prospectier pieces, that will have the Twins eating some money. It sort of seems to me like that's medium money. Maybe not going to say fully bad money. Maybe I'll just say medium money. to chase. Because Lopez, he has had good stretches, but we would be somewhat buying a Pivetta, a guy who's had some good, a little bad, could use a bounce back, could use a better year than he had last year in order to go on and make his money. So I am down with the concept of bringing in a guy who's at the end of a deal that has had some ups and downs and could use one good year to propel himself on to making that final big cash out. But then to me, that's where we're back into this cycle of like we're talking ourselves into it instead of it just being presented and us all going, yeah, no duh, we can see the writing on the wall that this is a good fit and a good addition for everybody. I will admit I could be entirely wrong, not just about his overall ability, but the fact of just like having another competent starter in there. Maybe our offense bounces back if we have a little bit less of a deficit to start from. I don't know. This is why I always say for you guys to comment, because I am not coming from on high to say, this is the way, let's do this, Padres fans. But I kind of want to just sound the let's not do this. And to me, as much as it is listed as a trade here, that, you know, a perfect rotation fix hiding in plain sight. And maybe we could get this guy for pennies trade-wise on the dollar. You guys said a while ago, Christian, you're too negative. Your content sucks when you're negative. And so help me not be negative on this. Help me not be negative on hearing these headlines and just getting a bleeping headache of being like, we are going to eat up the $60 or $80 million or so of free money that we have just with 3 terrible decisions that are going to sit there and not necessarily even weigh us down, but like not do anything to move us forward. I would much rather take all that cash that we have and just pump it into offense, man. I bashed this grouping right here in the sense of saying like this is, to quote the kids, this is mid. I don't even know if mid is current lingo anymore, but this is mid. Like, this is not the 90s Braves. Let's just trust that Pivetta, Musgrove can be a good enough 1-2, that we got some dudes who can fit some big situations. Sears Hart, one of those makes it in as our token lefty. The other one goes to the bullpen. And then, let's open the rest of it up. Let Waldron have a chance. Let me just start rotating through minor league guys a couple starts at a time. And I'd rather figure it out that way and then have some freedom and flexibility that a month or two into the season, if the Padres are hanging and the Padres are in it, we can start to see some other teams that aren't and look ahead to be like, oh, okay, Cardinals are 20 games out. Mets are 20, like whoever, are X number of games out. Let's see if we can't get some pitching from them. Let's see if we can't get Sandy Alcantara this year. Let's see if we can't get X, Y, and Z. That's where I think the solution is to the pitching. I don't think the solution to the pitching is spending any of that money right now on anything that is available. So that's where I'm at. Let me know what you think about this and everything else going on free agency and winter meetings wise. And like I said at the beginning, if you want to hit the subscribe button, it'd be much appreciated. Until next time, we'll talk to you guys soon.